The last time the Olympia was held here in Las Vegas, this man right here was crowned Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry. It has been a monumental last few years for you, winning the Olympia, runner-up. What does Brandon Curry have to do to reclaim the throne this weekend?
Show up tomorrow. No, man, it's been a really good prep for me. We're gonna see some big changes from the Arnold to here. Just put in more time at ankle weight, like I should, and you'll see the fruits of my labor for sure. So we just come with a bigger, better package for the Olympia this year, and just trying to get that 2019 feel back. You know, 2019 we won the Arnold and won Olympia. This year we win the Arnold. We're trying to win the Olympia.
I didn't think about it that way. You can try to repeat that formula. Universally, it was said last year that you brought a more balanced package, but again, based off progress pictures, you have put on size, you have put on mass. What is it? Do you feel as if you've dialed up that formula, combining that added mass with that signature level of conditioning that you bring?
Yes, it's been really about time, you know. This past couple of years, due to pandemic travel restrictions, we've had to limit our prep to refined periods of time. So the Arnold was like 9 weeks, the Olympia last year was like 11, and this year we spent like at least 18 weeks out of the weight, you know. So that's the difference, you know. We focus on putting the mass on, focus on refining it, and bringing it in tight. So it's just more time on it.
When your name is called tomorrow night during prejudging, what can fans expect to see out of the new and upgraded Brandon Curry?
They expect to see a surprise. They expect to go, whoa, okay, I see what he's been hiding away for. He's been putting in work. It's not a fluke. So what did we put him again? What did we put him in the lineup? What was our predictions? Scratch that. Let's get this show to roll and have fun and watch and enjoy the show that he's putting on. That's what I wanted to be about, you know.
Well, Brandon, I have to say, really over the course of the last few years, you have carried yourself with a level of class, represented the sport well as Mr. Olympia, and really as one of the lady faces of the Olympia. As a father, I say, proud family man. You've done it all right, and we can't wait to see what you have to bring this weekend.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. I love you guys, all you fans. If you didn't make it to this event, man, this is the biggest Olympia ever. You may not want to miss it next year.
Let's go. Thank you so much. Alongside Ian Valier. Ian, let's go back to last year. Top 7. When you go back to last year, you study the tape, study your form. What are the biggest things that you said to yourself, this is what I need to improve on in order to crash that top 6 party?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously last year, that was my 4th show of the year, and I think you could see that in my physique. It just looked tired. You know, I think that's one thing we want to be really fresh going to the show. And, you know, I took the opportunity after Vancouver to not just like try and throw up 1,000,000 pounds, you know, grow and then come back down again. We want to use that as an opportunity to stay tight and really, you know, use the time that we had to keep in tight condition so that we didn't have to push down again for the Olympia, right? Keep my body nice and fresh, not too much ups and downs. But from a physique standpoint, it was really just, you know, making it more well-rounded. You know, I think I have a lot of really strong shots, like my front lat or my side tricep that I'm really well known for, but I also have some shots that really aren't good, like my front double, you know, shots that really I kind of shied away from. And I think it was really just making it so that there's no bad moments. You know, all my shots are good shots, and then I have some excellent shots, but making it that I'm not, you know, trying to really play catch up with my good shots, and I can hold my ground on those and then gain ground on my other shots. You know?
Phil Heath was talking about specifically, and he talked about your class of guys and how you need to establish maybe 2 or 3 quote-unquote knockout shots. Yeah. Is there anyone in particular that you've really worked on between last year and now that we can expect to see on the stage this weekend?
Well, I think my side tricep and my front lat can stand with anyone in the world, and I would argue that I have probably one of the best side triceps on that stage. You know, I think we've worked a lot on just, you know, how we present a couple different poses, you know, my transitions from like my side tricep into my abs and thighs, most muscular, and just show a little bit something different from me. And, you know, I think a lot of people don't expect to see, you know, any artistry there. And I'm not going to come out and pose like Terrence Ruffin, but I think if I just put a little more poise and, you know, an elegance, I would say, I guess, into the transitions between the poses and use those moments to really show something good at all times. You know, no, I'm just stepping from pose to pose. We're using those transitions to really maximize showcasing my physique, you know.
Finally, you look at the line that you have here now. You saw the raucous ovation that you received at the press conference. What does it mean to you that the Ian Valier brand has grown in the measure that it has, but really in a way where people are following you for everything that it is that you talk about, that you are about, and that you represent?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obviously very humbling, you know, and I got a obviously I have a huge appreciation for all this. They who put food on my table. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for the people that support me and the fans that support me, I wouldn't get the contracts. I wouldn't have the lines here. You know, I mean, they're the ones buying tickets that are putting the prize money here, you know. So, I mean, there's obviously a huge level of appreciation. And, you know, I think the biggest thing that's really helped grow that is just showing my personality. You know, whether people are love it or hate it, it's just a way to connect with people. And I think that's something a lot of people don't, you know, really take that full opportunity to utilize is really showing their personality through social media or through podcasts and letting people kind of inside and letting them know you. And they don't have to like it, but at least it's showing you and the real you, and some people love it and some people hate it. And that's just life with everybody, right?
Scott, one of the longest lines here. Ian, thank you so much for the time. All the best this weekend.
Thank you so much, Sid. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Alongside Hunter Labrada now in his third Olympia appearance. Hunter, I want to take you back to last year's Olympia. After the night show wrapped up, we were talking to Dexter Jackson, and he said something so profound. He said that, generally speaking, in sports, the Hall of Fame kid, or Hall of Famer's kid, doesn't usually eclipse the Hall of Famer. He said you might be an exception to that rule. What does that mean to you coming from a legend like Dexter Jackson?
Man, first off, Dex's uncle. Dex is the man. You know, getting to stand next to him at that Olympia has been one of the highlights of my career thus far, like really and truly. But you know, that being said, you know, I think I can do it, and it has nothing to do with trying to surpass my father. It has everything to do with me fulfilling my own goals and ambitions.
You have been so wildly picked in terms of all the handicapping. You listen to Branch Warren, and he says, based off what I've seen, I can see Hunter winning the show.
I could get 12.
Right, and then you have other experts saying, why do you think there's
12.
such a disparity in opinion when it comes to you?
A couple reasons. First off, my look does not translate in pictures or video compared to in person. You ask anyone that's seen me, they'll tell you that. You know, any of the coaches that see me, Hani.
Steve Weinberger said the same thing.
Like, everyone will tell you the same thing. It doesn't translate in person. You know, you got to be there in person, man.
Specifically, one thing when you look back at the film, you look back at the tape from last year, maybe the biggest.
Another thing is, you know, last year, I'll be the first one to tell you, I was not in shape.
Right.
I was not in shape. This year is I am fat-free, and I know the other complaint was you need to nail your water and not be sweating. We are more than on track to do that. I am very excited for Friday.
Biggest improvement in your overall physique in terms of muscularity, in terms of quality shots that we're going to see tomorrow night?
You'll see a whole new back on Friday night. You'll see a whole new back on Friday night.
What would define?
You'll see me in truly conditioned for the first time.
What would define success to Hunter Labrada in 2022?
Moving up from last year.
Hunter Labrada, thank you so much for the time. One of the longest lines here at Meet the Olympians. Good luck this weekend.
Appreciate you, man.
Alongside Derek Lunsford making his debut appearance in the Open Mr. Olympia. Derek, want to go back to last year after you won the 212 crown. You said you were going to take some time to consider, but eventually you wanted to compete in the Open. Well, now the eventuality is a reality. What was that final nail in the decision to go Open?
Yeah, I always knew I would be an open bodybuilder at some point. I love bodybuilding. I want to continue to keep progressing, and I knew that being in the 212, having limitations would just hold me back from me being my best. But the game plan was to come back, defend the title, and that was what we had planned on doing. My eagerness to get back into the gym and train and improve maybe kind of had something to do with that, me putting on that extra muscle tissue. You know, months down the road, we realized that after the Pittsburgh Pro, I put on a lot of muscle, and we still had said, okay, let's just give it some time to think about it. You know, my weight wasn't coming down. I just kept training hard. I kept getting stronger in the gym, and we just said, you know what? My body wants to grow and be an open competitor now. Why are we going to stop it? Let's go for it.
What have you noticed? Because that's been the biggest narrative about your body, trying to squeeze into that 212 form. What have you learned about your physique, about your body, now allowing it some freedom to grow for the Open class?
It's such a more complete body, you know. I'm able to fill out my legs, my chest, the areas that people were saying before that were lacking. I had to diet them off. I had to do so much cardio. I couldn't eat very much food. Now I'm able to eat a little bit more food, train even harder, and go and bring a better package this weekend. So for me, it's almost like when I very first started bodybuilding. It was like, man, I can't wait to put on this muscle, get stronger, get crazy, big and shredded. And it's just like a brand new, fresh start for me. But you know, this weekend, we're going to definitely be bringing a package that's much improved from last year, and I thought we brought a pretty good one last year too.
What would define success? What is the goal for your debut appearance in the open class Olympia?
Well, the whole time I've just been focused on myself. I can't control anything besides, my effort in the gym and sticking to the plan that Hani gives me, and that's all I've really been focused on. As far as the competition's concerned, I don't think anybody is here for a participation medal. Everybody wants to take home that Sandow title. That's just a competitor in everyone. But at the end of the day, I'm still just focused on me being my best. Again, this is just the beginning for me. So win, lose, or draw, whatever, after this weekend, I will continue to progress year after year after year. And but yeah, I want to be up there with those top guys for sure.
Thank you so much for the time. Good luck against the big boys.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an exciting weekend, guys. You see this crowd? This is what the Olympia should be like. It hasn't been able to be like this the last couple of years because the world was crazy. But you know what? I have even before the whole 2020 situation, I have never seen an Olympia look like this, and it's only Thursday. So I cannot wait to see what tomorrow brings for prejudging for us, and then Saturday finals.
Well, we're excited to see what you're going to bring now in the open class. Again, thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, Sid. I appreciate it.
Alongside the 2020 Miss Bikini Olympia, Janet Layug. Now, Janet, I've been coming to Olympias since 2014. Remember, you came runner-up that year, and really ever since then, you've been a fixture atop that bikini division. Talk to us about the journey and the decision to come back this year.
Oh my God, first of all, it is so exciting to be back here in the Olympia space. I missed it so much. I mean, what was I doing taking a break? Like, I was meant to be back here competing. I have so much potential. I really enjoyed my break that I had off, but I wanted to be able to come back with a better, more improved physique. And I started competing back in 2014. Bikini has evolved so much since then. And getting like 3 first place runner-up was not good enough for me. I had to okay, 2020 was definitely, I put in a lot more work, more intensity, but since then, Bikini's evolved from that. So now I took a break. I got back in the arena at Pittsburgh and New York Pro this year to level up with the caliber of competition, and I cannot tell you guys how much this prep means to me. I put in so much work, so much focus that allowed me to everything come together, and I honestly feel it's like my best package coming this Saturday.
This division has evolved so much. How have you, or what adjustments rather, have you made in order to not only just stay with the rest of the pack, but really stay at the top of the elite of the bikini class?
You know, the journey, there is lots of ups, lots of downs, but I gotta say the most important thing is being really in tune mentally. You know, having the belief in yourself that you can do anything, putting in the work, staying focused, staying consistent, more intensity, really wanting it, you know? And I think it's more than just a physical regimen, it is a mental regimen that you must have, that champion mindset. And that's what's gonna translate into your best package.
Let's talk about your apparel. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that means greatest of all time, but then you have Damn It Janet right here coming out of the Go. Explain, please.
It's that go energy that I'm talking about, bringing the best version of yourself and feeling that it's a champion mindset, the greatest of all time, that you can achieve anything. Go energy, that's what we're bringing this year.
And the Damn It Janet.
Damn It Janet, I love you. That's, you know, for my favorite movie, Rocky Horror film.
Nice.
Yes, back in the day, old school stuff. So if you know about that old school, you'll get it. But definitely love it. It's my thing, and I'm feeling it this year.
Well, Janet, pleasure and honor watching you for all these years, and I'm sure bodybuilding fans are excited to see the return of the champ this upcoming Olympia weekend. Thank you so much for the time, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for your motivation and inspiration along the way. Just keeping me uplifted through this journey. It's tough, but those words go a long way, and I hope that I can bring some inspiration to others around the world, women who are watching. And it's more than just a title. It's really, this is a platform for me to show women that we can become much more of ourselves. Mothers out there, I'm a mother too, but we put our mind to something and we can achieve anything that we believe in ourselves.
Janet Layug, ladies and gentlemen, 2020 Miss Bikini Olympia, back here at the 2022 Olympia. Thank you so much. Alongside the man they called Vintage Genetics, the Dutch sensation, Wesley Vissers. Wesley, finally we meet in person. You are here in Vegas. How do you feel heading into this Olympia weekend?
This is an amazing experience. I've done this show in 2018 in Vegas as well. And then, of course, there was a time in between where it wasn't in Vegas, and I was back here. And to me, this city, this experience is just surreal to me. To be able to be here again, represent the best in the sport, to represent the Netherlands, it's amazing. It's amazing.
One of the coolest things about talking to you is that when you think about the classic physique division, you've always been one of the headliners in terms of, you have different classic physique competitors who define sort of the standard of the look. What would you say as far as your own physique, your own progression, and how that reflects the progression of this overall division?
So at first, I was actually rewarded being a bit softer, having a little slimmer legs, like the true classic physique used to be. But the sport evolved into having bigger legs, more of an X-frame, and simply literally being as conditioned as possible, which is something I had to do myself as well. Which I noticed this year, my legs have grown, my conditioning has improved, but I kept that vintage shape that I'm known for. And I think that combination is going to do my placing justice quite a lot at this Olympia.
We've seen some of the recent progress pictures, but Saturday, when your name is called in pre-judging, what can fans expect to see in terms of maybe something different from your last Olympia appearance?
So for sure, I will be a lot bigger than my last Olympia. I even say that before condition, because I think that'll be the biggest difference. Because the legs, the proportions, the fullness, everything is a lot bigger. But also, of course, the conditioning in the legs, in the hamstrings, in the glutes, it's all there. And then combined with that fullness, with my height, I think that's gonna draw a lot of eyes to me on stage. And being in the first color, that's of course my dream. So I will need the combination of everything to be able to crack that top 6.
Finally, your opinions on this division are very stout. And they've been pretty consistent throughout the beginning of the division. When you see how far this division has come and how much has changed, before it used to be you had bodybuilders coming from different walks of life, the division eventually started to morph, and now where we are today, what would you say is, I don't want to say a state of the union of the classic physique or exactly what one physique looks like, but what would you say about the overall progression of the competitors in this division?
So the field is a lot deeper for sure. So you really notice that it's become more of an aesthetic physique class with a classic twist in terms of presentation being very important. The vacuum remains very important, but also like when you're doing a posing routine, showcasing some of those classic, iconic poses that I of course try to bring myself. And I think that combination with just the incredible conditioning and the X-frame, that is today what classic physique is all about. So when you can bring all of those things to the stage, you will be successful.
Vintage Genetics, Wesley Vissers, we thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Alongside the only Wellness Olympia champion, Francielle Matos. Francielle, back for your first ever title defense. How do you feel going into Olympia weekend?
I'm feel excited. I'm so happy. This year, more happy because my kids stay here with me, and I'm stay more strong there last year. But I'm stay here very happy, very incredible because the wellness division grows so fast in the United States, and I'm so happy because this.
Last year, many bodybuilding fans, that was their first look at the wellness division, and they were introduced to you as the champion. This year, what can you say you will bring to the stage, perhaps a better look in terms of what you brought last year?
I improved my body. I have a whole year to work, and for my body it was amazing, and I'm so happy for her represent the wellness once again tomorrow in the Olympic stage.
What can you say about the reception that you have gotten from the bodybuilding fans about wellness and about you as a champion of the division?
Oh, it's incredible. Wow. The line stayed very big, and I'm so happy because I love the wellness category, and stay here in the United States represent the wellness category. It's a dream.
Finally, what can you say about this wellness class obviously now heading into its second year at the Olympia, about your competitors, the overall division, how the overall division has improved heading into its second year.
I believe that the wellness, it's not the Brazilian. The wellness is all the countries, and it's important because now at the Olympia have a French, is the Italian, the Americans. This is amazing. This is a wellness bra.
This is the first and only champion of the wellness division. She's back for her first title defense. Francielle, I know you got to go eat. Thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks, baby.
Alongside Samson Dauda here at the Olympia. Samson, you're one of those cases where people look at you and they say to themselves, as far as the wild cards, the disruptors, maybe one of the pleasant surprises when Olympia Weekend is all said and done. Your mindset headed into Olympia Weekend.
Oh, I'm ready to rock, man. I'm excited. I know we're bringing something new to the table, and you know what? I'm ready to get this on, and I can't wait. Tomorrow night is going to be something special, and you guys better pay close attention because you won't want to miss this.
This is the most animated, by the way, I have ever seen Samson Dauda, but we've seen the progress pictures. We've seen, your progression, but when your name is called tomorrow night at prejudging, what can fans expect to see?
You know what, man? They've said for a long time, bring back the 90s physique, bring back the 90s physique. Well, it's back, and we're going to see it. A bigger version of it, but we're going to see it.
What can you say about the British bodybuilding scene and, it's really some of the greats that it is? We saw James Hollingshead down the other way. It's been a real renaissance, really, for the British bodybuilding scene, and now you're representing them on the biggest stage in bodybuilding.
Man, British bodybuilding has been coming up for years, First we had Nathan DeAsha come out, we were after a long dry spell. He showed us the way, and since then, man, we all just one after the other coming back. British, we're hardcore when it comes to it. We train hardcore, we do this hardcore, so when we're here now, we're like, you know what? We've been quiet for a long time, but now is the time for us to really come up and step up. And right now, we've got so many good pros coming out of the UK, and so many top pros that we haven't had that level in a long time. And we can't wait to show you guys what we're bringing. And you know what? Keep a close eye because British bodybuilding is coming up.
What is the goal this Olympia Weekend? What would you be happy with accomplishing this Olympia Weekend?
First call out, baby. I want to be right there, stand in front of center. I keep saying before, if I land in that top 10 spot, I'm good. Well, I want to be as high up that top 10 spot as I possibly can. So I'm definitely excited for that.
In England, there is a saying, it applies maybe more so to the English soccer team, that it's coming home. Samson Dauda, is it coming home?
It's coming home. Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Samson, thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. Appreciate the support.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm here not only with a man who is built different, but the man who singly has the best voice in all of bodybuilding. You saw him on After Hours earlier in the week, and now we have him in the flesh here at Meet the Olympians. Charles Griffin. Charles, how do you feel?
Man, I feel great, man. I feel blessed. I'm just happy to be here. The energy in the building is crazy. I look crazy. I'm just happy to be back in Vegas on the Olympia stage.
When we had you on After Hours, Dave Palumbo made the point, you have made some freaking monumental improvements. I mean, it's astounding how far you've come over the course of the last 4 years. What would you attribute that to? And perhaps if you had to expect something when your name is called tomorrow night, something we haven't seen before, what would it be?
So what do I attribute all my changes to? Me just knowing that I got more in me. Me knowing I could compete with all these guys on the stage. Me knowing that when I had the things the judges said I need to fix on, I was still winning shows and I was still placing second. So I was this close with that physique. So if I make the changes I need to make, I'm not going to be able to be messed with. And I made those changes, and now we laying some semen down. Everybody know I'm serious now. They know I got what it takes to be on this Olympia stage. Yeah.
But in terms of when your name is called tomorrow night, what can fans expect to see? Maybe that they have not seen out of you on stage so far.
Oh, what they see, they just gonna see a better version of what they already saw. I'm gonna be hard as nails, and I'm gonna be shredded, and I don't got a weak pose on me. You know what I mean? I don't got a weak pose on me. And when I hit that vacuum on them, the dimensions just pop out, and they just go on the judges' eyes gonna draw to me, man. So like we hard as nails right now. It's on.
We noted all the improvements. If you had to pick one of your, in terms of your signature shots, perhaps your knockout shot, what would it be?
Man, you know, I'm gonna have to say I'm really liking my back shots, and then also my front lat spread. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm liking all my poses, man. Like at first I was like, let me stand to the side and let me do the back with you, because the front, now that I fix the front, I'm that confident, and I feel that confident that I can stand with anybody with any of the shots now. And when we turn to the back, it's always been dangerous when we turn to the back. Now we just got the front is as dangerous as the back. So it's like we got it, man. It's on. Yeah.
What would define success for you this weekend?
Man, you know, with this lineup here, getting into that top 10 will define success, you know what I mean? Anywhere in that top 10, top 5, top 6, top 7, if it's 10th place, anywhere in that top 10 with the caliber of athletes this year, getting in the top 10 is like placing 6 in previous Olympians, how stacked this lineup is, man. So me getting in that top 10 is going to be what it needs to be for me to be a success and for me to be happy and satisfied.
And perhaps the most important question of the night, when can RXMuscle fans expect to next see you on an episode of After Hours?
ASAP. After I get in this top 10, I want to get on with Dave so I can celebrate with Dave on camera, man. I love Dave Palumbo. We go back years, man. Ever since I've been doing this, he's been showing me some love, so I can't wait to get back on there. Yes.
Built different, Charles Griffin. Charles, thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man.
Alongside Barbara Cesar, aka Bobby Manu, as you undoubtedly know her on Instagram. Second time competing at the Wellness Olympia. Bobby, how do you feel going into Olympia Weekend?
I feel so excited, actually. Like, it's a pleasure for me to be here, like, for the second time competing at Olympia, representing, like, Brazil and also here in USA. I don't know, it's so much feelings, like, the feeling to be in Vegas. Last year I competed at Olympia, was in Orlando, but in Vegas the whole experience is different. It's like the Olympia really made a really big experience for all of us. So be here competing a second time in a new division, it's just an honor for me. So I'm just excited to show my best tomorrow on stage.
So this is your second year competing altogether. You're one of the youngest professionals in this division. What can fans expect to see out of you now in your second year on the Olympia stage?
I'm definitely gonna beat my last physique last year. That's the main goal. I think that's like, I came with this goal in my head. I saw the physique last year, so that's the girl I wanna beat, and I already beat that. So I just wanna show the physique tomorrow.
When you look at some of the elite members of this wellness division, obviously the defending champion Mateo Lefranzos, Matos, Isa Pereira Nunez, Angela Borges, Hiroshina Ayala. When you look at what you bring, the package that you bring, what improvements do you feel like you need to make or you need to show tomorrow, this weekend rather, in order to join that elite class of the wellness division?
I think for me it should be like, I think each athlete has to make him special. It can be a size, it can be condition, and it can be proportion. I know what I can, if I bring my 100%, my proportion, my symmetry can go and be strong physique as well. So I know I'm bringing my symmetry with condition, and I think I can fight with them with that.
What result would Bobby Manu be happy with this weekend?
I want to be in the top 5. That's my main goal. Last year, I was my first year competing as a pro, qualified for the Olympia, and I placed 10. So that will be a dream for me. Like, it's a win for me, be top 5.
Barbara Cesar, aka Bobby Manu, second year Wellness Olympia competitor. Bobby, thank you so much for the time. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, thank you.
You've heard of Neymar, you've heard of Ronaldo, you've heard of Ronaldinho. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this man right here is that to the Brazilian bodybuilding scene, Rafael Brandão. Rafael, you put on an absolute impromptu show at the press conference earlier today. You came wearing a suit, looking dapper. You presented gifts to Hunter Labrada and Nick Walker. What was behind all that?
Yeah, bro, you know, we have to have some fun. And I was there to put some fire there, and yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
You've been very outspoken about not being picked by many experts to be in their top 6, their top 10. You've been very vocal about that. What do you have to say to those that are doubting you coming into this weekend?
So, you know, doesn't matter for me if people believe or not, because I'm working so hard for this moment, and I'm enjoying this moment. I'm super happy to be here. And listen, I bring my best to the stage, and we're gonna choke the world and kick some ass.
When Rafael Brandeau's called and we hear the scores of Brazilian fans and the crowd cheering, what can fans expect to see on the stage?
They can expect me the best version of Rafael Brandel, you know? Not just a little bigger, but more condition. My line is amazing right now. The aesthetic, everything. I bring the gold yet again, you know? So, yeah.
I have to ask, because again, we talk about Brazil, and I mean, you look at the Brazilian bodybuilding scene, obviously, you know, yourself, Ramon Dino, Eduardo Correa, but pretty much the entire wellness lineup. It's really been a resurgence of sales, and it's not just, okay, sending athletes to the Olympia. Athletes that figure to place very high in the Olympia. What can you say about the Brazilian bodybuilding scene at the moment?
Yeah, Brazilian bodybuilding is growing a lot, you know. We have a lot of support there. The companies there are amazing. The people there are amazing. And we have a good genetics. And work ethic is everything there, you know. So, yeah. Brazil sent to United States to the Mr. Olympia. A lot of athletes, almost 30 athletes here this year. So this is a lot of athletes from Brazil. I think it's the biggest, you know.
I think in the history of the
yeah,
Olympia,
in the history, yeah. So yeah, you'll be amazed because everybody coming from Brazil, you'll be placed high, you know. It's not, we never joke. We always do what you have to do, you know.
Looking at the camera, deliver a message in Portuguese about what you're going to do this weekend.
Galera do Brasil, esse final de semana vocês podem esperar a melhor versão do Rafael Brandão. Conto com vocês, conto com a energia de vocês. Eu tô aqui representando o Brasil. Tamo junto. Vai, Brasil!
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you, brother.
Alongside the man that you know as Andrew Jack. Now, nobody, I think, has been able to get your actual name pronounced correctly. So how do you pronounce your real name?
My name is Chinedu Obieke, Andrew Jack Ryan, that's my name. So, yeah, some people don't know how to call it correctly though.
Where did the name Andrew Jack come from?
Andrew is my name, Jack is my name, but Jack is a name I grew up with, like my teenage age name, so yeah, pretty good.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, because I feel like you come into this Olympia weekend maybe as one of the mystery figures. A lot of bodybuilding fans got to know you really over the course of the last year and a half, and then all of a sudden, you get your pro card. You win these two pro shows, Texas and the Arnold UK, and here you are, now many thinking you might finish as high as within the top 6.
Well, I would say everyone stay tuned and let's see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, and you know, it's a pretty good run. I've been into so many sports, but I decided to just go professional on this one, see how it is, and so far it's been good. So the run has been good.
What can fans expect to see when they call your name tomorrow night at prejudging?
Stay tuned for tomorrow.
You and Blessing Awodibu put on an absolute show earlier today at the press conference. Do you see yourself as someone that, alongside a Blessing, can really spice things up in bodybuilding, bring some of that showmanship, that entertainment back to the sport?
I don't think I have to show anymore. I think I've been getting the job done. You know what I mean? In terms of height and proportion, I'm 6'2", with a good proportion. Still got some flaws. I'm not like perfect, but we're working on it. And in terms of symmetry-wise, I don't think anyone can beat me in the game. So yeah, it's good.
Where will Andrew Jack place in his first ever Olympia?
I'll be in the first call-out, and what happens after that, we'll see.
Andrew, pleasure meeting you. Thank you for the time, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks a lot, bro. Yeah.
Alongside the Persian Wolf, Hadi Chupan. Hadi, first of all, I have to say it's always a pleasure getting a chance to speak to you in person. I know that it is difficult, just the circumstances for you to come here, and obviously now it's been 3 years in a row, so I wanted to start with that. But first, How do you feel now? You've been here for 6 weeks. You got a chance to do an advanced prep with Hani Rambod. How do you feel going into Olympia Weekend?
میگه چه احساسی داری از اینکه 6 هفته زودتر اومدی اینجا و آماده سازیت با هانی رامبود شروع کردی؟ حس چی از این موضوع؟
خب من هر سال با بهترین کیفیت میام اینجا و امیدوارم که امسالم حس همه زیبایی اندام باشه. مثل المپیا یعنی پرورش اندام. هر کسی که بیشترین اندام رو داشته باشه، زیباترین اندام رو داشته باشه، تلاش بیشتری رو کرده باشه که بهترین اندام رو بسازه و بتونه رشد بده، به نمایش بذاره. و من امسال خیلی عالیم، بهتر از هر سال میام و شگفتی شاهد میشم و همه میبینم.
He said basically I'm always trying to be in the best condition. I'm doing my best always, so that's why I always every year I'm better than the last year. So and this is the bodybuilding, and who has a better shape, in better shape, better condition, better effort, he will win the show. And I think this year is my show. I'm gonna win the show.
Last year finishing third, but there were many experts, Hadi, that said that you should have won last year's Mr. Olympia. If you had to give one thought to this, what do you need to do? First of all, do you think this year is your year? And what do you need to do to dethrone Big Ramy and win the Mr. Olympia crown?
میگه که پارسال هم همه فکر میکردن که تو حقت اولی بوده. امسال فکر میکنی چه کار بیشتری انجام دادی که میتونی بیگ رامی رو ببری، شکست بدی؟
خب همیشه حق با هواداران باید باشه. اون چیزی که مردم میبینن. و من امسال خیلی بهتر از پارسال اومدم و هم بزرگتر هستم، هم زیباتر از پارسال هستم و هم اینی که میتونم عمل کنم.
He says, so this year I came with the bigger size, more condition and more beautiful and in shape, rounded muscle this year. So for these reasons, I'm gonna be the champion.
Finally, we know that Iran is going through some difficult times. What does it mean to you to be able to do well at the Olympia and put a smile on the face of the Iranian people?
میگه که چه کاری میتونی بکنی امسال که خنده رو به لب مردم ایران بیاری؟
ما هر کاری که میکنیم واسه مردممون هست و من به نمایندگی 85 میلیون نفر اینجا و فردا نه تنها هادی چوپان میره رو سکو بلکه 85 میلیون نفر هماهنگ رو سکو دارن فریاد و من از خودم میخوام که بتونم دل مردممون رو شاد کنم. بیگ رامی همیشه میگه که زمستون هست ولی خودش توی زمستون سردش میشه، کلاه میپوشه و برای یه گرگ هیچ وقت زمستون و تابستون نیست. یه گرگ همیشه تو هر فصلی باشه جنگنده است و ما فردا پیروز میشیم.
So he says, so tomorrow is gonna be, it's not me gonna be on the stage. 85 million of Iranian population gonna be behind me and gonna be a stage, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make them happy. And Big Ramy says it's winter, but and he always wear jackets. So, but for me, I'm a Persian wolf. For me, it's summer and winter. It doesn't make any difference.
On that note, Hadi, you know you got a lot of supporters here. Thank you so much for the time. It is always a pleasure to speak to you.
مرسی از اینکه اومدی، خیلی خوشحال شدیم که اومدی با ما مصاحبه کردی.
من از شما و زحمتی که میکشید و اینکه با قهرمانان صحبت میکنید، به مردم معرفی میکنید تشکر میکنم و امیدوارم که هر سال بیننده حضورتون باشم.
Yeah, thanks to you to providing this opportunity to the athletes and getting the interview and introducing the athletes to the people, and thank you so much for your.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All the best.